नहीं पूछ एसी ने मैं लीधी है एसी बराबर है मोबाइल आई लीधो एसी लीधो ये भी मोबाइल के भी हम भी मोबाइल में अन्य करे मोबाइल में खास मोबाइल ना करे जॉब करे मोबाइल अभी और नहीं कोई आवक नहीं तो कोई आपको मोबाइल लेंगे तो भरवार में क्या हाँ हमारा कई दिवस जवाब नहीं था और कोई जबरदस्ती लेवल नहीं क्या हमारा केवल लोग लग गया तो नहीं साउंड तो मतलब है हमारे साउंड ना आवा भाई साउंड तो हमारा अंदर थी संभળાય ત્યારે તમે વિડીયો ચાલુ કરો ને કોપી માઇન્ડ પડી આપો શું કહેવું શું કહેવા માંગે हमारे साउंड हमारे बाहर हमारे तो क्या नहीं पहला में आ स्पीकर में लाइव मीटिंग चालશે એટલે પેલા સાહેબનો આમાં સંભળાશે તો અહીંયા સંભળાશે આમાં રેકોર્ડ થાય બેટરી કેટલા ટકા વાળી લગાડી ચેક કરી દો ને પડે પછી આ 56 છે ને પેલી બીજી ટકાવાળી એવી હતી 85-90 ટકાવાળી એટલે એમનું છે ને ચાર્જર બકવાસ છે એ તો છે હમ
આમાં જે બી આવશે એ સીધું યુટ્યુબ પર જઈએ.
બરાબર. આમાંથી લાઈવ સુધી યુટ્યુબ ઉપર જાય છે. રેકોર્ડ આપીને ચેક કરો.
Very good morning to one and all.
બહુ ઓછો આવે અવાજ.
અંદર ઓછો આવે ઓછો આવે અંદર.
A very good morning to one and all. और तेज कैसे? आप आगे नहीं आ रहे?
આગે જ ને
હા, इसी से जा. आवाज तो
फोकस कर.
વોલ્યુમ જરાક વધારે એમાં હવે વોલ્યુમ થોડું કરવું પડશે. અંદરથી સિસ્ટમ ભાઈ અંદરથી જોવું પડશે.
Good
Start.
afternoon.
દેવાંશ ચેક કરો.
Good afternoon.
नहीं आ रहा है.
ये नहीं पता.
नहीं पता वो कैसे स्टार्ट हो.
હા અવાજ આવશે પછી બહુ વધારે વાગી શું અવાજ આવશે.
चलो स्टार्ट करेंगे.
પછી આ બધું તો એના માટે બધું અહીં આપેલું છે. એ તો શું તમારે અહીંયાથી આ સ્પીકર બીજું છે ને એ રહ્યું અહીંયા સ્પીકરથી આવે ને એ તમારે લેવું પડે. અહીંયા છે નહીં. હા સીધો તમારો આમાં રેકોર્ડ થાય પેલામાં અંદર સીધું ભરી એ માઇક્રો નહીં કાઢી નાખે અહીંયા તો પાછું અહીંયા અવાજ આવવા દો ખબર છે જવું ચાલો ઓકે મારા યુટ્યુબ
These are the students from my university. They are the masters. MSc MA students. Today we have festival blessings. So we have started this morning the internship program. Almost 10 days, 60 hours per program. So if we take them in different horizon. So no formal education. It's informal. They have to engage. They have to contribute. They have to create and they have to discriminate. And as they have only known that they will be only be the teacher or educator. Now after this program we will make them be the best communicator, science communicator. So they don't look only for school and colleges.
લાઈટ ઓછી ઓછો કર આવ્યું
Department of Science
Hmm.
Science communication.
I sir here.
I sir.
So nice meeting all of you here at different campus. And तीन चार चेहरे ही ऐसे हैं which I am seeing for the first time. Otherwise बाकी सबको हर रोज मिलने वाले हैं. This is.
Thank you.
A very good afternoon, one and all. Respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor of IIT Gandhinagar, Dr. R.C. Patel sir, are here with us on the occasion of Engineering Day celebration. Welcome sir. Today is the Engineer Day, a day set aside to the contribution engineers have made to society. The infrastructure that keep our planet operating is designed, construction and maintained by engineers. They are those who develop new technologies that enhance the quality of life. On this day, it means 15th September every year, Sri M. Vishweswaraya, one of India's greatest engineers, celebrate his birth anniversary, which also happened to be Engineers Day. We are truly honored to have such distinguished lineup of the speaker, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us today. To start our program, I request Dr. Narottam Sahu sir to present a bouquet and memento to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor R.C. Patel sir.
मैडम તમે ખસી જાઓ આપણે બરાબર
Sir.
યસ ઓકે.
This celebration is being streamed live on GUJCOST YouTube channel, and as well as it is also available on Google Meet for convenience of all the participants. Now I request Dr. Kutam Bhargava ma'am, Principal Scientific Officer, GUJCOST, to give her welcome address to all the distinguished guests and speakers.
So good afternoon to all. On this auspicious occasions of Engineers Day today, 15th September 2025, and with the theme Engineering Excellence for Viksit Bharat, I heartily welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor R.C. Patel from Indian Institute for Teacher Education. Thank you sir for your kind consent, and you have come here to bless us all with your motivating words. I welcome our experts, Shri Samrit Maitri sir, who is Scientist E at Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Pune. So he'll be delivering a talk on advancement in smart computing for Viksit Bharat. I welcome Dr. Rajesh Gujjar, Head Civil Engineering from PTEU, who will be delivering a talk on infrastructure for Viksit Bharat, and also Dr. Pranav Prakash Singh, Scientist G at SAG ISRO, who will deliver a talk on space engineering for Viksit Bharat. So with this dignitaries and experts, I also welcome our advisor sir, Dr. Narottam Sahu, who has been the motivating force for all these programs, and I also welcome all my participants from IITE who will be our next generation science communicators wherever they are, and I also thank you all for being here for this particular program. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much, ma'am, for the welcome address. To give the opening remarks, we are privileged to have with Dr. Narottam Sahu sir, the advisor and member secretary of GUJCOST. I will.
Good afternoon to everybody. And Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor R.C. Patel, in Indian Institute of Teacher Education, IIT. One of its university established by Honorable PM for a very common cause, both for science, engineering, mathematics and humanity. So we are very much thankful to you, sir, for your kind presence. So today we are celebrating, in fact the country is celebrating the Engineers Day, a day dedicated to our engineers or technocrats who are taking their dreams to the destination. And the destination is defined by Honorable PM, it's Viksit Bharat. So according to the GUJCOST, with all our regional science centers as well as the district science centers, all our patron institutions in the STEM discipline, so we are celebrating this unique day with the theme of engineering excellency for a Viksit Bharat. So this program is being telecasted or live streaming through all our district science centers, regional science centers in Gujarat, and through all state SRT council and all other states in the country. So welcome all our participants, those who are participating here on the physical format and those who are participating this through our live streaming. So we would like to take you next 2 hours to the engineering excellency, how they have to shape the country and to show our way for the peoples and the planet. So as our principal scientific officer ma'am has mentioned, we have a variety, we have a very esteemed faculties from the space science and engineering, from the infrastructure development, from the advancement of smart computing, and from the very educational and philosophical things, which we are doing the best work for this community. So I once again, as mentioned, we have this thing that science is the basic part, the application is the technology and engineering. Okay, so as you are here for both science as well as the technology as well as the communication. So this is the best blend of our minds where we have to work for excellency for Viksit Bharat. So with this word, I would like to congratulate to participate all this national program, and I am looking forward that you will be taking some sort of this thing take home message which will be helpful for our student and next generation learners. So I also on behalf of DST, GUJCOST and Government of Gujarat welcoming our esteemed guests and faculties for this webinar, Professor R.C. Patel sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor IIT, Dr. Samrit Maiti, the scientist E from HPC division of SIDA Pune, Dr. Rajesh Gujjar, Head Civil Engineering Department of PDPU, and Dr. Pranav Prakash Singh, the scientist and scientist G from SAC ISRO, which is also helping a lot through in-space platform for our startups and the young entrepreneurs. So I think together with this space to infrastructure to supercomputing to education, so this will be giving the right flavor and a right test for our engineers, which will be working and contributing for the Viksit Bharat. So let us enjoy this day with this webinar and also follow the take-home message, so that we have to propagate the same thing in our classroom, our society, our people, and work for this our planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sahu sir, for the comprehensive overview. Now I request Professor R.C. Patel, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the IIT Gandhinagar, to deliver his session where we celebrate and acknowledge the incredible contribution of engineering to the education and the society.
Good afternoon, everyone. namaskar on my personal behalf and on behalf of IIT. At the outset, let me congratulate all the engineers of our country who have been significantly contributed for the national development. I also take this opportunity to thank and congratulate Dr. Narottam Sahu, the advisor and member secretary of GUJCOST, for effectively collaborating with IITE. So thank you very much on behalf of IITE. I must also thank the visionary leaders of IITE who at least 3 years back thought of including this component in the curriculum of PG students. Because see, I have experience of many universities in this country. Because I am associated with many universities in various capacities. I haven't seen this kind of component at PG level. Okay, where along with research, we also have a component of training or proof of concept or many other things. And sir, in every semester, this is a mandatory subject. So, thanks to all those visionaries of IITs who have thought of incorporating this in the present curriculum of our PG students. I must also Pranav Singh, Dr. Rajesh Gujar, Sri Samrit Maiti, Dr. Poonam Bhargava, a senior scientist here at IITE. So this today, in fact, I am really very fortunate. Fortunate in a sense, as a student, I was always thinking, a scientist लोग कैसे होते होंगे? Because I did not get any opportunity to meet scientists. But today I met in the morning, I met one scientist who is a senior scientist at ISRO. Because this morning we had one inauguration session of a 6-day training program of teachers of sailing schools at IIT. So we invited that madam. So in the morning I met one scientist there, and here there are number of scientists whom I got an opportunity to meet with. Now, as a student of science, in fact, throughout my life, I was always thinking, because I am from a pure science, I am not from engineering science. So as a pure science learner, I was thinking how, so when a bridge is to be constructed, how that load and everything is calculated. But somehow I was not fortunate to get an opportunity to learn that. What I could learn is only simple principles of science. But then we all know, along with this science and this knowledge of fundamental science, our engineers, they are incorporating and making sure that country is developed, and we have now best of the available infrastructure in our country. We all know, and we always talk about Viksit Bharat, and at least these students who have heard me on several occasions talking about Viksit Bharat, and I always say that now this is the generation. They are now left with only 20 to 22 years, because country has now decided to transform ourselves from developing to develop at least by 2047. And if we develop before that, there is nothing like it. But at least by 2047, we should be a developed India. And in order to be a developed India, we know every section of the society will have to contribute, and contribute significantly and meaningfully. So that is how, this is the generation now. I always tell them now, future or India's future is in your hands. आप ही लोगों को अभी ये पूरा करना है, because आपको मालूम है, in this Viksit Bharat, our honorable Prime Minister has divided the entire country into only 4 different groups. According to honorable Prime Minister Sri Modi Sahab, now the 4 different groups on which country should be focusing are: one is the youth, second the women, third, the farmers, and fourth, the poor people. So these are the four different group of people. I repeat, the poor people, the women, farmer, and youth. So these are the four group of people on whom country should be focusing so that India becomes Viksit Bharat at 2047. And only simple advice which I can give to these engineers as a non-engineer person is, when we think of Viksit Bharat, when we think of development, when we think of creating more and better infrastructure, one thing which we will have to keep in mind is that this has to be a sustainable development. Because sustainable development is most important, and when we talk of sustainable development, care for environment is most important. Because if we do not care for environment, environment will not care for us. And that is what we have seen recently also in all those hilly areas of our country. So, one advice which I can give to the engineers of the country is, when we think of development, and of course we have to think of development, please take care of sustainability aspect and the environment. Because I sometimes see certain videos, especially from China. Even when they construct a bridge or flyover, they do not disturb the existing structure. There are certain bridges and flyovers which pass through a building. There is already a building through which this newly constructed flyovers or bridges cross or pass through. So I think that is that level of care we have to take. Otherwise, one best example which our engineers have shown in this country is the bridge between Jammu and Kashmir. I think that is the iconic monument, we can say, or iconic development of our country, which even the other countries should also learn. As far as space science is concerned, I think we are second to the none. As far as space science is concerned, because we know our space scientists have now touched almost all the planets, and even that part of the moon where nobody could reach. So space scientists, space engineers, our design and development is to that extent that we are, I repeat, that we are second to the none. It means we are first in that. So once again, on this day, I take this opportunity on my personal behalf and on behalf of all IITians to congratulate all the engineers of the country, and special thanks to entire team of GUJCOST with Dr. Narottam Sahu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring word on engineering excellence and its impact on the future generation. Now, I would like to request Dr. Pranav Prakash Singh, scientist and engineer from the SEC ISRO. He is deliver a talk on the space engineering for the Viksit Bharat. Over to you, sir.
And this is the excellent sir, and inspiring to us the engineers. We should work on the sustainability. First of all, good afternoon to all participants, including Vice Chancellor IIT, and Narottam Sahuji, Rajesh Kachet, Samiti Naiki, and dear all participants. Myself, Pranav Prakash Singh, and I am scientist associate in ISRO, as well as I was Deputy Director in space for the program management and authorization for satellites. So today the special day, and theme is excellent, that is the theme is engineering excellence for the Viksit Bharat, and when it comes as engineering excellence, space engineering itself comes with the excellence. And today on the Engineers Day, we are celebrating the spirit of innovation and application of technology to uplift the common man life, that is guided by Indian engineers, that is Sri M. Visvesvaraya sir, and today with our seniors and the young engineers, coming engineers and scientists working in the engineering as well as the space domain. And it is guided by our teachers as well to make ourselves as a good engineer and work for the sustainability. And space engineering is not just about the rocket and the satellite, it is about harnessing the frontier of the space to uplift the millions and enabling a Viksit Bharat through connecting resource management, meeting aspiration of our people as well as the coming generation. Before I proceed further, is I am audible to all people?
Yes, you are.
Somebody can tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So when we talk on the space domain, it is it itself connect ourselves in the global scenario, because when we talk on the space, we cannot talk in the isolation. And earlier the space was limited to government agencies, where like ISRO, NASA, ESA, all people, all space activities are funded and promoted through the government agencies. But now the scenario is entirely changed. I am talking, give some glimpses of what is the internationally going on. Like few new startups, as well as the big companies are disrupting. So when we are talking on the space activity, we cannot talk in the isolation, and you all know big companies, now they are not only sending the satellites or the remote sensing or satellites, but they are able to send human beings for the in the space, as well as the space tourism. It is making space tourism as the near future challenge. And space tourism is not only required for the any nation or any company, but it is for the human sustainability in the universe or in Earth or any other planet. The space tourism or sending man to the space or the other planet will work as our how we can sustain in the scenario of disaster, as well as it will test the technology, that how precision and maturity of technology be required when we have to live in a very harsh environment. Like Earth have a very protected environment where the environmental variation, radiation, and all the requirements like water, air, food is available with the easy. Or our previous generations or long generation of thousands of history have maintained a sustainable. Now we come to the, and in similar fashion, India is also promoting the startups. I will share one slide only for the sake of the audience. So, India journey started in the space domain in 1969, and it is a very humble journey by the launching of the rocket at the moon. And now everybody know our capability, that from the PSLV to GSLV, we are able to launch any type of satellite, any number of satellites, and the decades of interactive improvement we have done in the propulsion, avionics, materials and system engineering to reflect our commitment in innovation and doing more with the less. And I have taken only one slide to show that how the space engineering is needed for the Viksit Bharat. Like we can see that the bottom one is the Earth station. Basically, whenever we have to communicate outside the Earth, at the globe or in the satellite or the other planet, it is like wires in everybody home. The signal is come through wire. Now we know that the signal itself works as a wire. Like when you talk on the mobile, you are connected to a signal. Signal is a wire or a connectivity in the space. And to see that connectivity, we need an antenna and then further connecting to the our other channel that the signal comes to our home or either our phone, and again it converted to the voice so that we can listen. So anything in the space engineering is for the common man, and space engineering is nowadays touch our everyday life, like from morning to the late evening, everywhere we are using the space engineering. And its best example is the GPS system and India Navi. I have told GPS because GPS is have a long domain history, and Navi is going popular in coming time. Like in GPS, it show your location, it optimize your path to go to school, college at a new location. Similarly, it gives the timing. And in the similar way, space engineering as well as it increase the precision of predicting that how much time you will take to reach the end destination. Second, I have taken that is the Gaganyaan recovery capsule, that when you are in the space and you want to be recovered, return back, and in emergency, suppose you are need to exit, how safely you can land and how you can optimal location it can determine. And third, in the top of the photograph, it is our one of the NBC satellite, NISA, that the ISRO and NASA both have the combined developed this satellite for the high resolution remote sensing, and this data is free for all over the world to all the scientists, engineers, young inspiration people who are working and want to work in the space domain. I'd like to say that utilizing space technology has a more future compared to the launch of the satellite, which is visible, and the satellite itself. Sometimes you do this one after remote sensing data is very helpful in the last 20 years for our country as well as all over the world, and India is one of the signing authority with the world to help any country by providing remote sensing and the real-time data to save the disaster management. And you will be surprised or that in last 20 years, India had minimum or nearly nil loss due to the climatic situation. Either it is a hurricane or too-much rain, because our warning system and satellite data is so precise that we can warn give the intimation to the local authorities as well as the central authorities to take the corrective action to move the citizens to a safer location, and in which we are very successful. And our national leadership is also embracing the ISRO roadmap for the common man. Second mission is the communication satellite. Second photograph that is the communication satellite, and it is our natural satellite did not come on in the picture, but communication is the link for the everything, like whatever we are talking. Similar disaster from satellite is one of the basic things to connect from a cut-off location to the mainland. I will not go for in the third one, that is our futuristic mission in the Bharat Antariksh Station, but this is the fourth one where I am showing our mouse. It is the Chandrayaan-3, which we have established our space engineering and establish ourselves as one of the, and as our chief guest has put that Chandrayaan-3 achieved historic soft landing near the lunar South Pole on 23 August 2023, and our Prime Minister has declared that day as the National Space Day, and a month back we have celebrated second National Space Day. And I like to say that the Department of Technology-GUJCOST and DST Gujarat is actively contributing on the National Space Day. And this makes India first region to land on the South Pole of the Moon. Second historic mission we have done is the Aditya L1 solar mission, where we have placed our satellite in the Lagrange's L1 orbit in a precise manner to study the sun and sun behavior. So these all things are basically showing the how space engineering can give a precision, like how precisely you can go at 50,000 or 36,000 or beyond in a precise manner. Similarly, our long back mission to Mars is the first time success, and it shows that how you can deorbit, go beyond the Earth and Moon, and precisely enter the new gravitational field and stay in their environment, as well as you are able to communicate back to the Earth, to your home ground, about your photograph situation. So these are the building blocks of making you to take the next step, like sending human being to the outer space. Similarly, insect feedings, ocean sets, and other, and one of our space docking experiment. Space docking, like the handshaking when we meet in person, and when we have to space dock or meeting one satellite to the other satellite, which is moving at a speed of 4 km per second. Suppose our car moving 60 km per hour, and now in space you are moving at a speed of suppose 8 km per second and beyond, and two different objects moving such a speed. So making your relative speed such that it can be zero and you can handshake or transfer data, fuel, or the person from one satellite to the other. However, it was a small experiment, but these things and these technology and learnings which we are building at the ISRO is the next step for the pioneering, for the achieving our target of the Viksit Bharat, where we have our own technology, our own algorithm to do the space activity. And these algorithms not only develop a technology, but we are grooming the manpower and the Indian industry to do the things. So these technology are passes to the people of India, industry of India, students of India. So driving national development to this space, like the satellite and launchers, are only the beginning. Space engineering shows the critical application is directly contributing to the Viksit Bharat, like in precision engineering, uses of high resolution image and machine learning to boost yields. Like you might be learning that when the rain is happening, all losses or all agricultural losses are predicted through the satellite. Similarly, satellite image tells that how much food we are going to produce by the generating images and growth of the crop. Similarly, climate And Navik expansion, similar to the footprint of GPS. So Navik is not only that GPS or Baidu or GLONASS is available, still we need Navik because it is critical for the national security and our own people. Because these all GPS, GLONASS or Baidu are controlled by the other country, where they can change their data policy in need of the emergency. But now, once we have our own location system, then we have our own control, we have the better precision, better availability, and without bias by the other country dominance. So each of these applications transforming our lives. Similarly, our work on for the fishermen for navigating safer in the water so that they can know precisely what they are at which territory so that they cannot be captured by the enemy countries. And remote sensing satellite and Navik type of satellites which are giving a precise location and surface structure. We can do the better planning, better future township planning, road planning, and how we can move water system. And now we come to this launch vehicle, which is futuristic our launch for the human space flight, and how Gaganyaan 2 is the center. They will go for the low Earth orbit and come back. And this is our Bharat Earth station at the center space. So these all human space orbital infrastructure like Gaganyaan 2 mission, inflatable modules and docking place by 2028 to cement India presence in lower orbit. Lunar and deep space exploration by the future Chandrayaan series expansion, a robotic station to lunar south pole and precursor to venture towards the crewed lunar mission. Similarly, reusable launch vehicle technology will be the future, and similar things are done by the few, like the very well-known spaces company, where they use the reusable launchers, where the launcher come back to the same location. And similar technology we will also incorporate in the future, and experiments are going on. And these experiments with the precision, basically space engineering or the Viksit Bharat need a reliable and precise technology, either and affordable that can afford and reach to the common man. It should not be the technology like a limited for the certain class of people. And leveraging public-private partnership, Government of India by incorporating NC, that is the New Space India Limited and InSpace, they are meeting the national requirement by driving into a space manufacturing hub on power of global jets. On the field of that, Government of Gujarat, Government of and other governments are working with the national policy by making the space hub, space cluster to promote space engineering, so that and in the future when the space, it is like earlier was the industrial revolution, future is the space revolution where the large amount of commercialization, job and revenue is generated through the space engineering. To realize this vision, we must surmount challenges in relation to skill manpower and infrastructure skill. And Government of India and ISRO is committed to support all the engineers to promote or support their facility for grooming the engineers as well as the provide infrastructure. Combining with AI and aerospace material and propulsion system, space engineering technology certainly will provide good background for the Viksit Bharat. With this, I am thankful to the GUJCOST for providing this opportunity to give my view on this space engineering for Viksit Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a truly a not just about the innovation in technology, but also about building the infrastructure that drives development. To speak on this subject, we have Dr. Rajesh Gujjar sir, Head of Civil Engineering at Pandit Deen Dayal Energy University. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible? Please clarify.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. With the Dr. Pranav set the tone for engineering excellence. I would like to with due respect, Professor R.C. Patel, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Minister of Teachers Education, Sri Samrit Niti, today's speaker, scientist, the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, Dr. Narottam Sahu sir, Advisor and Member Secretary, GUJCOST, EST Government of Gujarat, then from ISRO, Dr. Pranav. Today we are going to celebrate Engineers Day with the theme on Engineering Excellence for Vikasit Bharat. I have been given the opportunity to talk on the role of infrastructure which is there, which helps the nation Vikasit, it makes the Bharat Vikasit. Is it now correct? I don't know why it is happening. It's not present. We'll try. Why it is looking this, madam? Looking like this?
Sir, your screen is visible to us now. Yes, we have the
Is
presentation.
it visible?
Yes,
Now, right, sir.
it's there, sir.
So I am going to deliver a talk on infrastructure for Vikasit Bharat pathways to 2047. What is the vision of the Vikasit Bharat 2047 with respect to the infrastructure and digital transformation comes with? The India is expected will be Vikasit and we are going to spend by 2000. The vision is for the Vikasit Bharat which we are expecting by 2047 focuses on $30 trillion economy by the of course 100th anniversary of its independence. And of course it will be achieved by the various aspects in the development indices, and that will be the major factor would be push for world-class infrastructure and a comprehensive digital transformation. I would like to say that basically civil engineering related with the civilization, human being, and when we talk about the urbanization, almost we are expecting by 2047 the population would be 1.6 billion, and then the urbanization will be transformed to contribute to the 50% of the total urbanization right now. Right now maybe we are little bit more than the 30%. And when we talk about the economic vibrancy and the infrastructure, these developed cities as an economic powerhouse is aiming to contribute 75% of the national GDP. So we are going to expecting to target at the 30 trillion. So mind it well how much vibrancy and how much infrastructural challenges that we need to go with that. And this will be achieved only by building the world-class seamless infrastructure plans like PM Condition C. Of course, it has to be followed by the environmental sustainability and resilience. So focus on green growth and carbon neutral buildings and the shift to the renewable energy will contribute, and build a climate resilient cities through the water conservation and recycling. We are having a little bit now base in this area. Our infrastructure is not having, that is separate issue, but this is what our plan thinks. And of course, inclusive and citizen-centric governance play a vital role for making and improving, for making the people life, ease of life with the people-centric urban planning, empower the urban poor, women and the vulnerable communities. When we talk about the smart city, urban digital infrastructure with respect to the smart cities, we have the smart city mission, which is leveraging advanced technology to the transition from the simply smart to the cognitive cities that can learn and adopt. So far as the latest progress, if we talk about, it has been widespread adopted, and in mid of the 2025, so maybe somewhere around by already we passed it, maybe June somewhere, 94% of the smart cities mission projects were completed across the 100 cities. 100 city was selected in the first phase of the smart city mission with an investment of rupees 1.64 lakh crore. And all these are controlled centralized. This establish a command and control access which use the technologies like artificial intelligence and IoT, Internet of the Things, for better city management and strategic implementation. The mission use both area-based development. Means some of the clusters they are considering where they find that this should be transformed into a smart city they selected, and this has been achieved by the targeted intervention and pan-city project technology solutions. So this was the concept, but this was followed by some of the challenges. I started with the urbanization. I will address the highways. I will address the sports. Sports means I will address the airport and port and harbor, and then I will conclude the session. So in that case, when we talk about the urbanization or smart city mission, most of the initial smart city mission funding focused on the area-based development, limiting to the direct benefit to just 3 to 5% of the city's population. Why? Because when we talk about the smart city, it is followed by so many things: smart people, smart technology, smart infrastructure, and smart, you can say, latest technology. So when we talk about all these things, it is very difficult to adopt this kind of integrated approach for a already developed city. It will become so very challenging. Like Kim City, if you see, entire infrastructure right from water harvesting to the advanced cabling, ducting, and making it the application of the various Internet of the Things can easily be adopted over there. So that means that's why it was addressed. The first smart city was addressed up to just 3 to 5% of the city's population. Of course, it creates a digital divide. Significant disparities exist in internet access, particularly in the smaller cities where only 45% of the population is connected, limiting access to the smart services. When we talk about the smart cities, it is already connected with the smart services. That is online payment system, online e-tax billing system, online monitoring, progress monitoring for construction from that perspective, from governance perspective. Of course, then governance and skill gaps. Many urban local bodies lack the technical staff for the efficient project implementation and innovation. That's the major challenges which they faced in. And of course, the cyber security. The massive influx of the interconnected IoT devices presents significant data privacy, because everything, when we talk about the smart city vision, right from the administration, governance, the policy implementation, transferring benefits, and the people's adoption, people's transferring benefits and providing the services to the each and every of the people has to be connected with each other. This encompasses the serious challenge of the privacy, data privacy and security. When we talk about the highways, roads and smart corridors, this is one of the major, because transportation is the mode which helps your economy and GDP to develop. Without a proper and good transportation, you cannot achieve your economical progress, or you can say GDP growth. So if we talk about the infrastructure, Vikasit Bharat 2047, it involved the massive infrastructure expansion, smart and AI-powered corridors, sustainable and green mobility, and integrated logistics and governance. When we talk about the massive infrastructure expansion, Vikasit Bharat Gati Shakti Mahamarga, a new plan to develop 40,000 kilometers of the high-speed corridor by 2047. We have now only, to talk about it being a Gujarati, we have only maybe 5, 6, 10 years back, we have only Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Vadodara Expressway, then it is expanded by the National Highway converted into expressway. But now we have Mumbai, the expressway. Like this expressway, it was maybe for the 1,000 kilometers or 400 kilometers. Now, like this, we need to have the 40,000 kilometers of the high speed. We need to have the access control highways. 50,000 kilometers of the highways, access control highways are need to be planned for the next 10 to 12 years. Holistic connectivity. It's not about only high-speed corridor. All these are to be connected by the rural road, border, coastals, and northeast region road. Recently, our PM has inaugurated a railway line from Mizoram, which is very challenging to have this, construction. It's a challenge. Terrain is highly challenging as well as the money costing is. When you talk about the smart and AI-powered corridors, we need to have the advanced traffic management system and AI for the real-time monitoring and improve safety. Most of the highways are having this penalty. Means if you are overspeeding your vehicle, your challan and your penalty will be directly comes to your accounts and it will get deducted from that. This type of highways, this type of equipment, sensors, smart centers, smart sensors, smart technologies, highways have been already adopted with the new corridors. Predictive maintenance, employing AI and IoT sensors for the proactive infrastructure repairs, because nowadays all these roads are the toll road. When we have the smart facility to offer the services, it has to be followed by the enhanced safety. Then sustainable and green mobility, the government is very keen to transport most of the vehicles to the electronics, or you can say battery charge, equipping smart highways with EV and charging stations and solar powered amenities. Carbon footprint reduction, of course, when we have the most 14% of the carbon emission is done by the vehicles on the road. So, of course, when we transport that, it is going to have the reduction in that. Support for the biofuels are being done. Our government is very keen on going for ethanol-based fuel, and it has been implemented. 20% of the ethanol is being now started using, which will having the save the huge revenue and interest because because most of the oil purchase is in the dollar, so that is again revenue, not only revenue generation, but it is also giving direct benefits to our farmer, and it is also saving our international currency. Integrated logistics and the governance, which is very planning 73 multi-meter logistics parks to connect road, railways, and ports, is drastically improving efficiency. This has to be followed by the digital platform using most of the unified logistic internet platform for centralized real-time cargo tracking and supply chain optimization. Now we are having like Vande Bharat, we are also going to have the logistic train called as and they are going to have the connect. So there will be faster courier service, or you can say good transmission to the railways. Transport governance, implementing digital tools like e-log systems and online governance. So these are the various aspects. It also incorporated with the integrating IoT, AI, and automation in the transportation networks. I don't think because these things are already covered, but if you look into the right-hand side picture, most of the countries they have adopted that. They have the sensor based, and I think if you heard the name of Tesla, it's a driverless car. Maybe future in the coming days, coming years, we will be called as a developed nation. We need to have this kind of technology. And we need to have the infrastructure which can sustain with this. There are three basically aspects: vehicle to infrastructure, vehicle to vehicle communication. So we need to develop this, and we need to plan accordingly as well. No nation could be called as a developed nation without the security for the digital resilience and for the national infrastructure. Everything needs to be secure. Data. Government is calling. I think 6 lakh. They get cheated, and it is in a multiple crores with the digital fraud kind of things. So day by day these cases are exponentially increasing, and government is doing the rigorous. When you do anyone call, there is a warning sort of, there is an awareness kind of campaign the mobile phone and make the people aware to make the people aware about the frauds going on, and that's how they are making the people aware. So it has to be followed by the securities, digital resilience, and national infrastructure is very essential. And how we are going to have the implementing measures to protect against unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, and destruction. How the digital resilience is going to be adopted beyond simple cyber security. We need to create an organization or system to continue operating during the digital disruption to recover its full functionality afterwards. Because most of the people, they couldn't get their money, although they would be able to successfully track. So they are going to have develop the mechanism like that. And then again, infrastructure. We need to have the infrastructure supporting these assets, systems, and network, both physical and virtual, that are so vital to the country that their incapacitation and destruction would have been deliberating effect on the security, national economic security, and public health. And this has to be addressed. So far as the ports and shipping is concerned, it is called as a maritime powerhouse. So to become Vikasit Bharat by 2047, a 2 trillion investment is expected, 150 project for the PNP economy, coastal green shipping corridors, new Bharat container line, all these are the part of these things. We need to plan it, and government is very keen on planning it. It has to be sustainable, greener ports, shipbuilding incentives, inland waterways expansion. That is one of the agenda to become for the shipping and ports to become a maritime powerhouse. Port-related development and modernization. The vision places immense emphasis on upgrading India's port infrastructure to the global standard. In bolstering the Indian shipping fleet, a significant objective is to increase the share of the Indian flagged vessels in the country's international and domestic trade, which is going very nicely and on a track. Green and sustainable maritime sector, recognizing the global imperative for the environmental stewardship, and thriving cruise tourism. That is one of the major aspects. The vision aims to position India as a premier global destination for the cruise tourism. When we talk about the airport connectivity, the government is planned to increase the airports from 150 to 350. So that's how every airport, and they are also going to connect the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We hold now earlier this airport and this flight, you can say plane, air travel was a luxury, but now it is transferred into a necessity, because when we talk about the 2014 Vikasit Bharat, this is very massive. From 150 we have existing airport now, considering all the airport, it has to be converted to 350. You must be knowing Ure Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, that is a scheme for the second 2-tier or 3-tier cities, and they need to win for the small plane connectivity. The government is also making the air travel very affordable. Handle passenger growth, prepare for the projected surge in domestic and international passenger traffic, and of course it is followed by the developing global hub. Now, if you go to the international travel, we need to go what like Abu Dhabi or Dubai, they are called as, and then from there you need to go with the transport to go to subcontinental travel. The government is keen to develop this kind of hub, and it has to be followed, because that's the biggest source of the revenue generation. So here I conclude. Whatever the infrastructure that we are going to do for this, it has to be a resilient. So developing infrastructure that withstand challenges is vital for India's sustainable future and national strength. It has to be connected with all the technologies, because it's not about only ports, airports, railways. It's about connecting all this. Integration of the connected digital technologies is fosters efficient communication and smart urban development. I am not talking about the digital, but it has to be followed by, say for example, if you go with the logistic transportation, it has to have the highways, has to be connected with the local road, rural road, has to be very well connected with the city, industry, railways, and ports and airports. Of course, all need to be very intelligent. Adopting the intelligent technologies supports automation and informed decision making for the progress. So with this, I conclude, and I thank you for GUJCOST for giving me opportunity to put my thoughts related to infrastructure board for Vikasit Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh sir, for your enlightening thoughts on infrastructure and its crucial role in the building a development nation. Next, we have another very interesting session on the advancement in smart computing for Viksit Bharat. With the rise of artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, smart computing is revolutionizing every field from education to healthcare. To talk about this, we have Sri Samrit Mehte sir, scientist HPC at the CDEC today. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. On the office of engineers to organization, and I'm very much honored and thankful also to for this opportunity to talk on a topic which is very dear to my heart. Before I start, I'd like to also acknowledge the thought and the idea here by understanding started to do Dr. James, Dr. Vijay, and especially Professor R.P. Patel. I would like to also acknowledge the fact as Patel said was telling that maintenance and taking of engineer is a officer. But I would like to also mention here and do my respect to academicians, especially to the people who are day-to-day basis engaging human beings. Because engineering is human beings, making a knowledge is a skill, and the artificial intelligence of the academician and scientists is a tough task. So I would like to acknowledge on engineering space. We have to see the ability to academia and the teacher respect the knowledge and the respect. Today, I'm going to talk about something which is topic, and it is about advancement in smart computing for Viksit Bharat. I would like to touch upon all of the initiatives that I believe is going to play a very, very major role that we go while India is moving towards Viksit Bharat. Please listen to the slide. Let me know if the slide
absolutely visible something.
So when the topic was basically, I was thinking about what could be the smart computing. As a technologist, I'm aware about it, the definition of it. And it is about smart computing, which is technologies like artificial intelligence involved in order to gather the data, analyze it, and to take informed decisions about it. So there is a big role with the sensory technology, artificial intelligence, computational technology, and infrastructure is playing big role in making smart computing as well as to be able for the betterment of society, for the social scientific, etc. But this is a very traditional definition that they talk about. On the other way, if you go to the dictionary to understand the definition of it, they will talk about switches. Sometimes we call it smart, using switches. It will be very simple. Simple but cost effective. And then also it has to be cost effective in terms of power development. That means it will consume less power as it evolves from one stage to another stage of development. And it is ridiculous talk because whenever it is there, even if there's a technology that could be affected to them, then only the human will be capable
consider it as a smart computing technology or smart technology. But if I apply a common sense, I could define smartness in the form of the ability to say, the environment completely and completing some of the data that's possibly offered based on the sensory inputs. Also intelligently process those data in order to take corrective or necessary actions in action. So if I take an action which is much delayed and the result has already happened, in that case possibly may not all the kind of decisions in the smart decision making would be called smart, and the computation would be called smart computing. If the decision making has been done at a later time, in many cases it is in advance before the event happens. That means there is a role of intelligence, there is a role of perceiving an event that is going to happen in future. So that kind of an infrastructure which makes it possible to call it as a smart computing infrastructure. But if I create the same in the context of Bharat, the scenario changes. The living changes become much broader, much important, fragmented, and you cannot many things consider the whole part of the definition. And there is one interpretation. Interpretation says that a society which is capable of attending and responding to environmental challenges in an intelligent way, empowered by scientific data, intelligent process, and with honesty, human contact, would be called a very smart society. It is empowered by smart infrastructure, smart computing facilities, smart technology. But one thing is very, very important here. You have to have holistic human contact. If you look at the current scenario, that's not the globe. Not only instructions are going across. And in many cases, we are not in position to pursue what the future is going to be like. India to become a big Bharat, it has to take a stand. And it has to take a stand on the basis of its values and the knowledge, the traditional knowledge that it is inherited from its service for thousands of years. And that is why the last of holistic human endeavor, which is very, very important ingredient in order to make Bharat a state. I will talk about a few other components of this Bharat, but let me get down into the main topic that I am responsible and talk about. If I want to make a computing infrastructure or that a total system that is smart, in that case, there are some of the characteristics that we need to take care of. Let us talk about the technology in a direct sense. So, technology has to have the agility and mobility. That means it cannot be a rigid. It has to be agile, and it has to evolve from one form to another form as per the requirement of the end user. It has to have the ability to scale. It has to have to be efficient. Technology execution has to have superior language capabilities in order to communicate with the end user. And also should target to solve the professional problem with the professional related problems, issues, global warming issues, so that some of the well-known big problems, apart from other social problems, like eliminating the differences in society, so many other type of social problems that we have to target upon. We need to identify the root cause behind those problems that I just talked about, and also we need to act upon it. We have to assess, and also after acting, if there is some regulations from the specific that case that we should be taking the corrective action, has to have people attribute and smart, so big of the times the end users also fail to realize that they are not talking to the end user, they are talking to the direct audience. This breakthrough actually makes it possible that computing infrastructure is active to a super dynamic community. Technology like AI and languages is very much to empower all other things apart from that. There are some of the points that have not been experienced broken or adapted to the community, like understanding solving a root cause of it and human intervention capabilities of scientists are very much is now there inside. Also, taking the strategic decisions is not left to the decisions and research. It is still on the humans to take the decision. So, some of the problems are still persisting, but computing infrastructure are catching up. And in the future, they are very grateful to make Bharat and countries and similar missions and see that it's a development of advanced computing without playing an role here. Now let me talk about IoT technologies, where safety is a big part. So all IoT technologies to attain this, CI has developed any partnership on the actually program called data IoT processors and IoT platforms. They are very powerful to develop the IoT services from 50 years, and those are open source and also ready to be released by the ready as a product. So apart from this, also we have good data is what is very using IoT technology, they to the assets of quantities of things. So it is like a human that can see and identify the quantities of things. So these technologies are also as a product and another use and are applied. But they are category products like some of the companies so this set of the development is happening on the IoT is now I'm talking about a very important part of the scientific simulation. What we are looking at is a simulation replication scientific simulation of Earth and another object in position. See the project strategy very much on and on this certain advanced forecast could be given by this technology. That means before the flood happens on this another object, we will be able to say where the water is going to be up to the flood water is going to be and what are the measures that have to take upon. A lot of other organizations are very difficult. The state organization, central water commissions, they are very difficult. Even the scientific communication of flood water on the another basis, and here this project is completed under the research and very much successful. So in future, this particular project will be taken and considered for all the flood prone conditions in India, and that is if you look at, this is the kind of thing that happens. This is a different difference. Sometimes it is very not capturing and on the platform. That thing. To happen to realize this scientific output, there is a computing infrastructure, and computing infrastructure of supercomputing can go to huge lives where we are making supercomputing. One of the products of Parasavar, and it is also really application product for not many every institute who are starting their journey on scientific concepts. But additionally, problem is launched for national supercomputing under which we launched the first supercomputer assembled in India, and I did this group called Parameshiva, which was in 2009. But the aim was to reach to the level where India is first to develop the beginning of supercomputing, and I'm happy to we have developed the platform, which is using a startup platform, and using the platform, the last stage of the supercomputers, and I am attached, and two other stages has been successfully launched. So these are completely indigenous supercomputers, startup platform. Right now, we are looking forward to develop their own processor, indigenous processor under their and we could see here this is another supercomputing system that currently, which is of 1.6 approximately. And this is about I the system. It is the biggest 1.1 approximately system. And we are looking forward in this stage of national supercomputing. We are looking forward to this stage level 6. Why we present the program is more slides. I've talked about scientific communities plus here. The other category of scientific communities is very good. Qualifications is that the basically civil scientific focus, weather focus, it is very good at India right now. And in many of the cases, the scientific scientific and to many other organizational coordinations, we could say, the Indian government could save a lot of lives before any kind of a weather-related challenges are happening. So this is dominant and visible in India and states like Odisha. If you study the actions taken by Odisha government before any kind of a typhoon of the globe, you will be able to understand how many different scientific organizations are playing a role in order to enable that decision-making software. So these are the technologies which is making it possible. Now I'm coming to the super intelligence kind of a ecosystem, and this is one partnership with AI. This is the largest AI supercomputing platform in India right now, and it is a very successful platform, and a lot of language-related processes, massive project itself is right now onboarded on this platform, and it is very successfully delivering its capabilities. We believe that in the future, these kind of platforms will be enabled by private government partnerships as well in order to enable and empower many of the startups in the AI domain so that we need to exploit large capacities of computing infrastructure. One more technology which is again coming out, which is an already next level computing, is called quantum technology. Now, quantum technology makes it possible to explore the computational technology, computational challenges, and problems which was not possible through traditional binary computing, through traditional computing. So, quantum computing, using of their quantum centers, it enables us to explore the industrial computing method and sometimes also explore our enables us to explore that in the hard problem. What we are thinking at this point in time that we would be able to achieve quantum advantage, not quantum supremacy, quantum advantage, if we are able to, this is our thought process, if we are able to combine supercomputing capabilities with quantum technology. Because some of the simulations, like molecular simulations, done with simulations, there are some portions which till today is very much completely basic and not explored up to a certain level. And that could be explored if we combine quantum and HPC. And that is why we are working on hybrid quantum computing. These are some of the fun computing infrastructure projects and areas of exploration that accident and utilities. Also, government is supporting all the scientific strategies and activities as well. Very actively. And here are some of the things that government is very much supporting. That is supercomputing, India, and national semiconductor and national quantum. With this national mission is a very active driving role to transform our country to Bharat in future very soon. before I conclude, I would like to talk about a little bit of status. So what is happening right now, though the computing platform are becoming smart, science is progressing very fast. We see all of challenges are coming on the human development level. So humanity is transforming from one level to another level by using technology, but many of the cases humans are misusing technology. Also, if we talk about scientific development, humans are good at applications and sustenance policy, but when it comes to resilience and adaptation, it is not able to do that, but actually it is possible. So, for an example, plastic solutions use and the way living with the problem problems of this, we have to find a solution in technology about it. Humans are now good at it, and now that is why my quest, the next generation of engineers and scientists to develop technology which is sustainable, which is really, really innovative and good, but also resilience or get resolved with time, living experience into the environment. So, I would like to conclude with this slide that I would like to ask to all my audience, while we are aspiring to create a smart computing solution, but we are also looking forward to very, very successful in our life. Let us use smart engineering to create an intelligent life form in our body. Practice smart engineering to design and try to achieve happy and satisfied life. Let us fulfill our vision, but definitely proliferating smart technologies that are environment friendly. Because if citizens of India, we are not we are not smart as I have defined the smartness, then this will Bharat would be very difficult, right? So along with technology, along with science, let us develop our village to make this Bharat possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Samrit sir, for the comprehensive overview of smart computing and its transformative power for Viksit Bharat. Your thoughts on how technology is shaping the future is truly eye-opening. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Bhagwan Mehra sir, Professor in Physics from Institute of Physics, Bhubaneswar. Sir, I welcome you and say few words about this program.
Thank you, madam. Actually, I am not a scientific group, not professor, normal, simple. That is from हिंदी से भी इसको कहते हैं, हिंदी से भी. Today, मैं from next tomorrow, that's 14 September to 13 September, we are celebrating Hindi Patwara, Hindi fortnight in all over world. So I would like to speak something about Engineers Day in Hindi, if you like, and I also I expect that you will support me, because हिंदी हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा और राजभाषा. आदरणीय मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर आर.सी. पटेल महोदय, आदरणीय सलाहकार तथा सदस्य सचिव गुजकोस्ट डॉक्टर नरोत्तम सर, और मेरे सामने बैठे डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर असित कुमार स्वाई, डायरेक्टर GSI भुवनेश्वर, डॉक्टर परशुराम बेहरा, डायरेक्टर GSI कोलकाता, और मेरे प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, देवियों और सज्जनों, हम आप सबको अभियंता दिवस की शुभकामनाएं और अभिनंदन देते हैं. और मुझे यह सुनकर और आपके सामने रहकर मुझे गर्व हर्ष महसूस हो रहा है कि अभियंता दिवस के अवसर पर मुझे कुछ बोलने का मौका मिल रहा है। बात यह है कि हम लोगों का यहाँ अखिल भारतीय राधा सम्मेलन कल से यहाँ शुरू हो रहा था। आज इसका अंतिम दिवस था, इसलिए हम सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि हम आपको एक हिंदी के छात्र होने के नाते और विज्ञान के छात्रों के सामने हिंदी भाषा के माध्यम से विज्ञान को आपके सामने हम प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं। जो अभियंता दिवस के अवसर पर गुजकोस्ट के सारे विद्यार्थियों और इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल हो रहे हैं सारे विद्यार्थियों को मेरी शुभकामनाएं। और इस कार्यक्रम में प्रत्येक तथा परोक्ष रूप से जुड़े सारी देवियों और सज्जन को मेरा अभिनंदन। मैं ये लिखने का ये कारण यह है कि कुछ वैज्ञानिक शब्दों को हिंदी में बताना इतना आसान चीज़ नहीं था, इसलिए बीच में मैं आपको अंग्रेजी शब्द में भी आपको इस्तेमाल करूँगा। मैं हम लोग समझ सकते हैं कि भाई आपको उसका शब्द को विश्लेषण करके एनालिसिस करके बताना बहुत मुश्किल है, इसलिए मैं कुछ अंग्रेजी शब्दों को भी इस्तेमाल करने के लिए मैं आपसे आग्रह करूँगा। मेरा संस्थान जहाँ रोजी रोटी मिलती है या मैं जिस संस्थान के साथ जुड़ा हूँ उस संस्था का नाम होता है इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फिजिक्स भुवनेश्वर। इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फिजिक्स भुवनेश्वर एक ऑटोनोमस रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट है जो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एटॉमिक एनर्जी परमाणु ऊर्जा विभाग के अंतर्गत एक अनुसंधान संस्थान है, जिस संस्थान में भौतिक विज्ञान के मौलिक तत्वों मौलिक विज्ञान के ऊपर अनुसंधान हो रहा है, चाहे वह न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स हो, चाहे कंडेंस मैटर फिजिक्स हो और हाई एनर्जी फिजिक्स। आजकल ज़्यादा रिसर्च हो रहा है हाई एनर्जी की फिजिक्स के ऊपर। हमारे जितने विद्यार्थी शोधार्थी हैं ज़्यादा उस हाई एनर्जी की फिजिक्स के ऊपर हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। और हमारी संस्था के साथ हमारी संस्था पर आने के लिए आपको क्या करना है, ऑल इंडिया लेवल पर एक जेस्ट नेस्ट और फिजिक्स का एक एंट्रेंस होता है, अगर उसमें आप आते हैं तो हम लोग उनसे ही लेकर हमारे संस्था को हम शामिल करते हैं। इसके साथ साथ ये पूरे विश्व में 14 सितंबर से हिंदी पखवाड़ा मनाया जा रहा है, इसलिए हम आपके सामने अगर हम हिंदी को रख रहे हैं, ये भी न केवल आपके लिए गर्व का विषय है, पूरे भारत सरकार के लिए ये गर्व का विषय होगा अगर सारे लोग इसको देख रहे हैं। मित्रों, आज का जो चल रहा है विकसित भारत, ये विकसित भारत का ये जो विचार है हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का ये विचार है, और ये विचार को आगे लेने के लिए उनके सपने को पूरा करने के लिए हम लोगों की जिम्मेदारी है। ये आप न केवल आपका है, हमारा भी है, और इसके पीछे वाले आने वाली पीढ़ियों का भी है। विकसित भारत 2047 इन सभी को इसको पूरे करने के लिए हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। इसलिए मैं आप लोगों के आशा करता हूँ कि आज का अभियंता का दिवस जो चल रहा है, इस दिवस से हम संकल्प लें कि विकसित भारत 2047 का को कैसे हम पूरा करें। और इस अभियंता दिवस से न केवल अभियंता के लिए न केवल एक इंजीनियरिंग के लिए नहीं है, और इन अभियंताओं को हम याद करते हैं, जैसे आज जिनके लिए आज का दिवस विशेष है, जिनका नाम तो आप जानते हैं, जिसको हम MB बोलते हैं, शॉर्टली MB सर। और इनके साथ साथ जो विकसित भारत की जो आइडिया है, डॉक्टर होमी जहान भाभा, फादर ऑफ एटम, और डॉक्टर विक्रम साराभाई, और इनके साथ साथ हम नाम जोड़ सकते हैं डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम। आज का विषय विकसित भारत में अभियंता की उत्कृष्टता जो आज का थीम है, और इसका अर्थ यह है कि प्रत्येक इंजीनियर उन समस्याओं को समाधान करने के लिए काम करे जो हमारे पर्यावरण की रक्षा करने और नेचुरल रिसोर्स जो है प्राकृतिक संसाधनों को उचित उपयोग सुनिश्चित करने में मदद करें, समाज के विकास के लिए काम करें। मैं ज़्यादा समय ना लेते हुए मैं ये आशा करता हूँ कि हमारे सामने जो चुनौतियाँ आती हैं उन चुनौतियों को कैसे सामना करें, उन चुनौतियों का कैसे समाधान करें, ये हम सब की जिम्मेदारी है। अगर उन चुनौतियों को सामना करके उसका समाधान कर लिया तो विज्ञान सार्थक है। मैं इस और एक बात भी और आप लोगों के सामने रखना चाहता हूँ, और हमें ये आशा हम लोग का ये आग्रह रहेगा, हम लोग का ये अनुरोध रहेगा कि मानव को मौलिक सुविधाओं को जो विकसित करना ये वैज्ञानिकों का काम है, और वैज्ञानिकों के साथ साथ अभियंता का काम भी है कि वैज्ञानिकों की सहायता करके ये देश को आगे बढ़ाना होगा। समाज के विकास में अपने कौशलों को उपयोग करके अगर अपना काम कर सके तो जाके हमारा समाज क्या होगा, इतना आगे बढ़ेगा। इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा समय न लेते हुए इतने करके मेरा अपना वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद देता हूँ हमारे डॉक्टर नरोत्तम साहब को कि मुझे कुछ बातें आपके सामने रखने के लिए।
आप लोगों को कि हमारे पास जो भी छात्र यहाँ पे हैं, दे आर ऑल टू बी टीचर्स, दे आर परस्यूइंग देयर MSc ML, and luckily for them they are in physics and chemistry, so it's an opportunity for them to interact with you people. And एक लोग से तो आपने interact किया from Institute of Physics, but we also have someone with us from GSI. So इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ गलत बोलूं, बट उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि वो साउथ पोल तक जाके आए हैं, तो I'll also request him to please just give some introduction about your institute and a little bit about your experience, and so that the students here they can have another opening for their career. And सर लोग अभी हैं, आप लोगों के जो भी questions होंगे we will interact also, so you can also ask them. Sir, please.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you Dr. Narottam Sahu, advisor GUJCOST, and before me, Sri Parsuram Behra, the director GSI from Kolkata, and Bhagwan Behra ji from Institute of Physics, and all dear students. Well, I'm feeling happy that today I'm here with all of you, and I don't know how you feel like, but I'm from at the institute, like what Madam was said. I am from Geological Survey of India. I hope, maybe I don't know whether you have heard this name or not. So seeing your silence and the interaction, I'm feeling that probably you might not know much about this institute. But for me, it is just I'll introduce about my institute, where I'm serving. It is under the Ministry of Mines of Government of India. It is Geological Survey of India, and whatever you are doing till date, this organization is 175 years old, 175. So this is the second oldest organization in India after Survey of India. And the importance of this institute is that whatever we are doing today, we require to have the like mobile phone, whatever you are using, that requires some sort of elements which raw material is very much required for any other things, and we are the persons who are the providers for this raw materials, like whatever is there inside the earth, like say iron, manganese, any sort of mineral or metals, whatever you require, we need to get it from the earth. Okay, so we are the persons, we are the geologists. Basically, we search for the minerals and we are helping in the development of the country. by aiding to the country's mineral wealth as well as the financial these things. We are doing a lot of auctions are being taking place, and for that the government of India is getting revenue. And this is one aspect of it. But other aspect is that we are not only in the doing the mineral research and all these things, but also we have this engineering aspect also we are doing the work, because you see, in today is the Engineers Day, and congratulations to all of you to be here today for the Engineers Day. And we are also dealing a lot of things with the engineering these things, because we have a specific branch called as the engineering geology, and where a big constructions, like you say the any sort of dam or bridge or tunnel, like that, wherever this type of things are required, then we need to intervene with the geological knowledge should have. You should have the geological knowledge, so that the whatever the dam you will be building, the structure should stand for a long time. It's not for 1 or 2 days or something like that, but you need to have for hundreds of years. Okay. So if the foundation is strong, then only all the structures whatever we will be making, that will be strong. So, and to know the structures, you need to know the geology of that particular area wherever you are walking. Similarly, any sort of bridge. Suppose you are constructing a bridge, but wherever you are constructing that, the river surface is some sort of having a problematic geology, then maybe initially for some days it will stand, but later on if you are not solving the issues, then it will collapse. Okay. So, and similarly tunnel, and recently so many tunnel collapse and all these things are happening, because so with technology we'll have to develop our methodologies and all these things. And apart from that, the disaster, I was listening to the things just 3 minutes before, a lot number of disasters are taking place not only in India but all over the world. Say earthquake, say even in recent happenings the flood and landslides. And we, Geological Survey of India, we are the nodal agency for the landslides in India. So we are doing research, and in some sort of these things, like we are telling the government, like these are the places which are prone to the landslides. We can't stop the things with the natural disaster, we can't stop it. But definitely with the planning and all these things, we can minimize the effects. So we are giving the advice to the government of India for all these things, and we are doing a lot of research on that particular aspect. So for that we have created some of the divisions within our GSI. Some of the missions are there. Like mission 1, under mission, there are 5 missions basically. Under mission 1, we are giving thrust to the fundamental things, like fundamental geology and what to carry out the research in that aspect. And second mission, that mission 2, that is for the mineral exploration. How we will be doing, like which are the areas which has a potential to have a good number of mineral bearing rocks are there, then we can go for mineral extractions. Like for example, Gujarat is having a different geology, and Rajasthan is having different geology, Odisha is having different geology. Okay, so those areas which are in the northern part of the area, they are having a very good belt for the iron, manganese, all of these things. Okay, whereas in other areas you will be having rocks which are very much favorable for other rocks. So that research we are doing, and we are exploring. Like you go for the drilling machines and all these things, then it will boreholes will be laid, and from there the quantity of the belt is how much quantities of that minerals is there, that we are calculating. That is called as the resource calculations, and based on that things only a particular area auction is being given, and accordingly the government is getting the revenue. And third, this this is the age of the knowledge, information. The third area what we are focusing is the mission 3, that is geoinformatics. Like how much whatever the data geological information is there, from one end to the other end we are disseminating, and we are doing a lot of research as well as the application part of the things through the satellite remote sensing. Like the scientist from the ISRO, he has shown that these are the things what we are doing, and we are utilizing an application of that thing. Like satellite is there, and based on that things, we are calculating that how the different ratios of the spectral ratios we are calculating, and These are the areas which is favorable for particular minerals and all these things that we are doing. Apart from that, also it is helping a lot of things in the during the landslide investigations and other aspects. And as well as we this earthquakes. So where we can't stop the earthquakes as such, but beforehand, suppose some of the information we are having, then we can try to minimize the things. Like how this earthquake is taking place. That basic research, I think many of which must be knowing. This whole Earth is not a it's a dynamic. It's not a static one. So we are standing on a plate, okay, and each plate is moving. MSc physics means I hope that this much of knowledge you must be having. These plates are moving always. When these two plates are colliding with each other, then where the joining points, these are the places which are prone to the earthquakes. Okay, like the Himalayan belt. That Eurasian plate is there and it is coming in, it is colliding with the once upon a time it was Tethys Sea was there and it has this has collided and the Himalayan mountain chain has evolved, all these things. So there what is happening is that a number of researchers are still being focused nowadays, but even in your Gandhinagar also this Institute of Seismology is there, they are also doing research on that aspect. Now the point is that how to predict the thing and what is the focus of the earthquake and how quick we can give a information that this is the place where the earthquake is there. So in pointing, that one is USGS is doing, as well as GSI is also spreading this awareness, because until मैं आपको 2 मिनट में कॉल बैक करता हूँ. मैं आपको 2 मिनट में कॉल बैक करता हूँ. So this information is required because this is the way how you can alert the public. And mission 4 is the public science, is good geosciences, okay, like landslide and any sort of now apart from the things like the normal disease, some other diseases like waterborne diseases. If there is some area where the arsenic pollution is there, some rocks are having arsenic, more quantity of arsenic, then in contact with the water it will spread, and in that region you will be getting a lot of arsenic pollutions that will deteriorate the health conditions. So this is one aspect. And the fifth one is the training division, because until unless you get trained, then you will not be able to solve a lot number of problems. So these are the things what we are basically doing. And like what madam was, I was just having a little bit of discussion. Apart from the other things like under mission 4, we are also doing work in the glaciological aspects also, and for that climate is changing. Every day and night you must be having that climate change is there. So if the warming is taking place, global warming is taking place, climate change is taking place, then whether the glaciers on the surface of the earth, whether it is melting or it is again because of the temperature, in some part it is hot and some part it is cold, then whether in some part of the world the glaciers are increasing. So on that aspect actually I was walking and I was fortunate enough to go to Antarctica many times for that region to study that whether the glaciers of the polar ice sheet is increasing or what is the condition of the that one. So, and when I was using an instrument called as the ground penetrating radar, so there you'll be having a machine where you'll be having some sort of transmitting ray and the receiving ray, and based upon the dielectric constant of that particular medium, you will be calculating the depth. So what is the thickness of the ice over that region? That things I was also doing some sort of work on that aspect. And for that region only I was selected for being a member of the first Indian scientific expedition to South Pole, and I could reach the South Pole on 22nd November 2010. So that was so it is always good to interact with all of you, and this is the department where we entry through the Central Geological Sciences examinations, CGE, Central this one, and this is being conducted by UPSC, and UPSC, many of the things you must be knowing about the IAS, IPS like that. It is same sort of for these things, but designation is changed as the CGS, that is Central Geological Services. Okay, and this is about the geological these things, and physics. They are also doing wonderful work in our department. So there is a branch called as the geophysics, you must be knowing. So any sort of the instrument like geophysical instrument, we are doing the SP survey, IP survey, and the magnetic survey, all these things. And we are having also a branch called as the remote sensing and aerial sciences like that, RSAS, that is headquartered in Bangalore. And all regions, we are having 7 regions. So in this one regional headquarters, we are having the physics and they are getting in the form of the geophysicists. So you can try for these things after your MSc. There is an exam by the UPSC, and this is, and chemistry students are also here. So in chemistry also we are having openings for the this one, like they are being recruited as the chemists, and that their designation there, it will be the Central Chemical Services like that. Okay, so many of our state units as well as the regional headquarters, we are having the chemical labs, and regularly nowadays, because number of samples you have to analyze, so for that reason the chemical openings are getting increased day by day, and that exam is also being taken care by the UPSC. Okay, so that's how we are moving in a mission. So if you have any questions or something like that related to, yeah, and then I was given to, I was told that they are MSc Physics and Chemistry students.
Some may be online, sir, so for their interest.
Yeah. So there are openings for the engineering these things also. We are having a lot of number of drilling engineers are there, and other aspects of engineering also they are doing. So that is coming under Central Engineering Services, and outside of this, the department is same like the Geological Survey of India, but we are having the openings for the geology, physics, chemistry, engineering, and all these things. And nowadays, again, we are doing some sort of medical geology also, but there, we don't do any sort of and all sort of remote sensing and all these applications, whatever we are doing, we are using the application of AI and ML in all of our research projects. So if you have any specific questions, then I would like to answer to that one. A pin drop silence is there. So I guess there are 2 things. If there will be a pin drop silence, there are 2 things. Either you understood everything whatever I told, or you understood nothing. So I guess that you all are people from Gandhinagar, and if there is no more question, I should wish you good luck for your future, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashil Kumar sir, for your wonderful insights about geological science. Actually, I think this would be the first session about geological science we would have ever attended, and it included everything in general information about geological science, the contributions the Geological Survey of India is making for the betterment of our nation, and finally you also came up with the career options for our students as well as the engineers present over here. Thank you so much for your insights. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of GUJCOST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, on this special occasion of Engineers Day 2025, celebrated on the theme Engineering Excellence for Viksit Bharat. First and foremost, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished speakers for the valuable insights. Dr. Narottam Sahu sir, Advisor and Member Secretary GUJCOST, for setting the tone with his inspiring opening remarks. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Pranav Prakash Singh, scientist, engineer SD from SAT ISRO for highlighting the critical role of space engineering in nation building. We are grateful to Dr. Rajesh Gujar from PDEU for sharing his expertise on infrastructure development, and also we are very grateful to Shri Samrit Baiti sir from SEDAC Pune for his deep perspectives on advanced computing for developed India. We are also thankful for Professor R.C. Patel sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor IIT, for his graceful presence at the opening of the ceremony and his motivational address to the session. We are also thankful for the physical presence and insights which are being given by Dr. Bhagwan Bahir sir from Institute of Physics, Bhubaneswar. He has come up to celebrate Hindi Day with us. We are very grateful, sir. Dhanyavad. Thanks a lot. And we are also thankful for your presence, Dr. Parshuram Behra, sir. He is also Director GSI from Kolkata. We are very thankful to you, sir, for your presence and your active participation. We also thank now a special thanks to Dr. Poonam Bhargava ma'am for a warm welcome and coordinating this event so smoothly. Yes, sir. Sir, definitely, sir. You actually made up the event. You know, people. It was a very insightful session. Actually, geological science is a very new era for us, for the engineers as well as for the students who have come from IIT, and for us as well. Even we were very much interested in all the works which have been done by the Geological Survey of India. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so now I am also very much thankful to all the members who are present online, the project directors from our regional science centers, and also the coordinators from the CSC centers. I am also very much thankful to the students who have been participants over here, the students of IIT. They are master students there, and this is it is a part of their training session in GUJCOST. With all, now let us, last but not the least, I extend a deep appreciation to the entire GUJCOST team for their dedication and efforts in making this program a success. On this occasion, let us carry forward the spirit of innovation, commitment and service that defines the engineering community and work collectively for Viksit Bharat. We can now conclude the session. And before we conclude, I request all to stand up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्तर बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
भारत माता की
जय।
Students can have some refreshments now, and then we start with the I'll be taking that.
Okay.